Hello, welcome to natemareflix. I am Nate, you are you, and we are so close to finally receiving Halloween Kills, and I could not be more excited. But of course, the name of the film is Halloween Kills, and we've been promised a staggering body count. We've been promised that we're going to see Michael Myers, the Boogeyman, slash more innocent Haddonfielders than we have ever seen in this entire franchise's long-running history. So I'm stoked, but of course that begs the question, who is going to die? Because like I said, this can't be just a bunch of random also-rans. This can't just be Haddonfield citizen number 12. No, we're going to see some key players get knifed. So let's go ahead today and predict who those individuals will be, who's safe and will be back for Halloween Ends, and whose long journey ends here in Halloween Kills. I would like you to play along. Let me know your thoughts down below, and we can get started with the fate of Julian. I would like you guys to comment if you think Julian will survive in Halloween Kills. They are bringing him back from the first film. He was a bit divisive. A lot of people loved him as the comedic relief. They thought that child actor had tremendous comedic chops, and other people thought that his character really did destroy the tone and scary atmosphere of the film. So let me know if you think Julian gets out of Halloween Kills alive. And if you're new to the channel, also be sure to hit subscribe because we love Halloween here. We love all horror movies. We do all sorts of fun, creative content regarding the horror genre. We like to get a good discourse going. We love to have you along for the ride. So be sure to hit that subscribe button. And now I'm going to give you my thoughts on 7 characters in Halloween Kills and whether they're going to make it out dead or alive. So first up, let's go ahead and talk about Nurse Marion Chambers. She's coming back for this film, and she is an OG of this franchise. She was in the 1978 film, famously exchanging dialogue with Dr. Loomis, has the comment about cigarettes, all these things that hardcore fans know and love. And so it's a nice nod to bring her back. Also makes sense, right? But will she survive? I'm gonna say no. Because we've seen in the teaser and in the trailer that they kind of homage the original film where she's there in the car and all of a sudden you see Michael's hand smash the glass right beside her while she's sitting in the car. So that already doesn't look great for her, but also the 2018 Halloween loved to homage the past films in the franchise. And so if you look back at those films, you'll remember that Nurse Marion Chambers actually reprised her role in H2O. She's in the intro and she does not make it out alive. She's one of the first kills and helps sets the tone for H2O. And so since these movie makers like to kind of homage and respectfully nod to everything that has come before, you gotta believe that she is going to die because she's an important character to fans. It's nice to see her back, but she doesn't mean so much to the story. You just have to have her there in Halloween Ends. So safe to say, Marion Chambers, you're not safe. Now let's talk about another OG. Let's talk about Lindsay Wallace. That's right, Kyle Richards, all grown up, is coming back to be in Halloween Kills. Will she make it out of this film alive? No, even though I know Jamie Lee Curtis has been talking up Kyle Richards' involvement, what she brought to the project and all this and all of that, I think it's a bit telling that Miss Richards actually broke her nose on set while doing some of her own stunts. That leads me to believe she's in a very physically demanding confrontation, a scene with a lot of violence, and that's probably not going to bode well for her character, Lindsay Wallace. Again, nice to have her back. Nice for original fans. People have been watching this franchise for up to 40 years. You know, to see her back in Haddonfield, back against the Boogeyman that probably scarred her and made her have nightmares for all of her, adolescent years into her adult life. I think though Michael's gonna finally offer. I don't again see much reason to have her come all the way through to Halloween Ends. So I think it's just a good way to have an emotional kill that fans are gonna be like, oh look, Lindsay Wallace is, oh Lindsay Wallace. So on to number 3, we talked about Lindsay Wallace. Well, Tommy Doyle is actually coming back. Another child actor who portrayed him in the 1978 film will not be portraying him as Kyle Richards is portraying Lindsay Wallace. We will instead get 80s, teen superstar Michael Anthony Hall in the role as Tommy Doyle, which is really neat in itself. And from the marketing materials from the trailer, we see that this Tommy Doyle is not like the timid, neurotic, anxiety-ridden Tommy Doyle that we saw portrayed by Paul Rudd. Now this one, he's got an axe to grind. He's looking kind of badass. He's wielding a baseball bat. He looks like he wants to take the attack to Michael Myers like so much of Haddonfield seems to in the trailer. You got the mob. Looks like this town is just in an uproar and they want to go on the offensive, and Tommy is amongst them. The problem is, I gotta believe if you're gonna figure out a way to kill Michael Myers, you're gonna have to be be a bit sly. You're gonna have to be sleuthy with it. You can't just be blatant. And a baseball bat doesn't get much more blatant than that. So I think Tommy Doyle set himself up for failure here. You know, he may save another character, bail them out of a situation where they're about to die. When he comes in with that baseball bat, we may get a cool sequence there, a couple nice exchanges between him and Michael. But this Michael Myers is just way too brutal, way too strong, way too powerful. And we know from the trailer that the more he kills, the more he transcends. So who knows just how transcendent Michael will be by the time Tommy faces off with him in Halloween Kills. But I think it's just not going to go well for Tommy. So I think it's awesome Michael Anthony Hall is on board. I think it's awesome he's going to portray this character that means so much to the fans, but I also think it's awesome that he may have a really powerful death scene. All right, we are on number 4 and nobody has survived yet. So let's talk about Allison Nelson, the granddaughter of Laurie Strode. Will she make it to Halloween Ends? I'm going to say yes. I just feel that in my gut that she's gonna make it out of this one, no matter how badly they want us to think she's gonna die. I mean, they're just so blatant with it. It looks like such an obvious red herring in the trailer when you see her face to face with Michael and she's goading him on, she's screaming in his face just to do it already. And you're like, come on, why would she do that? She must have something up her sleeve. I mean, this man, he's been haunting and he's been in the collective psyche of the Haddonfield townspeople for so long. He drove this girl's grandmother into hysteria, into being a hermit, to not being able to live her life. She's been so traumatized. And you think this girl's just gonna be right next to him and be like, calling your bluff, you ain't enough man to kill me. No, doesn't make sense. And also wouldn't make sense to have such an important moment as having Allison be murdered. Put that in your trailer? For what? I don't believe it. I don't believe it for a second. Something's gonna happen there. She has a trick up her sleeve. There's a trap going on, or another character is gonna bail her out, like I talked about Tommy Doyle and his bat. Don't know what it is, but I'm not buying that that moment in the trailer is her death. I think that will come in Halloween Ends if it comes at all. I think we're gonna see a whole lot of death, but something in my gut just tells me that it's not yet Allison's time. So then what about Allison's boyfriend or ex-boyfriend, Cameron Elam? Well, I don't think he's gonna be quite so lucky, and we know from the teaser clips, we know from the trailer that he's gonna have a run-in with Michael. They've given us that much, and it doesn't look good for him. It doesn't look good for him at all. It also doesn't look good for him just looking at the history of the franchise. It does not pay to be a douche to the girls in these movies. This looks like an homage and a nod to Brady in Halloween 4, because when that film opens, Rachel thinks she has a real solid, good man in Brady, but it turns out he's all over town trying to figure out what it means when you say cops do it by the book. So it's kind of what's happening here with Cameron. You know, she thought she had a real one, but then she goes to the dance and is talking about other girls. He's not a real good dude. He's gonna try to redeem himself much like Brady did, but ultimately, Brady trying to redeem himself meant having to sacrifice himself. Meant he got ended by Michael Myers. I think the same thing will happen here with Cameron, and I don't think that that's just the most amazing hot take of all time. I think it's pretty obvious when you look at the trailer that this guy, he's gonna get his, and I think we're all okay with that after Halloween 2018. All right, so Allison's boyfriend, ex-boyfriend, whatever, it looks like he's going to die. So then what about Allison's mom, Karen, the daughter of Laurie Strode? Well, we've heard a lot from JLC and others about how this movie's gonna have a ton of kills in it, but there's also gonna be some emotion in it. And I think that is where Karen comes in, because they had some poignant moments at the end of Halloween 2018, and actually even in the beginning, where you see how all Laurie's trauma has really drove a wedge in between her and her daughter, and just so much time lost because of the friction and resentment between the two of them. Now, they had a nice moment at the end of Halloween 2018, which is only gonna make it that much sadder if she dies here. Plus, there's just a whole lot of fans that can't stand Judy Greer and don't feel like she acted well in Halloween 2018. I actually didn't mind her. I'm not one of the Judy Greer haters, but there are a ton of them out there and they've been clamoring for her demise, so I think they will likely get it. And it just makes sense from the plot, from storytelling, from the fact that you would get that emotion, that would mean a lot to Laurie and all of the stuff she would have against Michael that she already has against Michael, but then also as an added motivation for Allison. It just makes way too much sense for Karen to bite the big one here in Halloween Kills. All right, that's 6 entries down, which means we are on our 7th participant. We are, of course, looking at the biggest name. We are looking at Jamie Lee Curtis's Laurie Strode. And of course, I don't need to say it. It's nothing new to say, you know, hey, Batman has a Joker, Laurie Strode as Michael Myers. They are tied together. And so often in this franchise's history, they have been. And for that reason, no matter how many hot takes you have heard, I just gotta believe Laurie Strode will be surviving Halloween Kills. Now, Jamie Lee Curtis has actually kind of spoiled some things by coming out and saying, you know, that Halloween Ends will be the last time she portrays the character, which tells you, you know, she's back. Now, that could, of course, be in flashbacks. It could be in Allison or Karen having some sort of emotional moment where they envision her. So she could be dead by the end of this film and still just make an appearance via one of those routes, but I highly doubt it because there's so many folks that, you know, maybe they're not true blue Halloween fans. They're just kind of aware of it because it's such a mainstream property at this point. You know, like I said, it's Batman and the Joker. It's Laurie and Michael. They are tied together, and so you have a trilogy, and so you have to see them there at the end. You got to see Luke, and you got to see Darth Vader in the third and final film. So regardless of what some of us other fans who have seen all the other movies 1,000 times and want something new, want something spicy, want them to get adventurous and crazy and bold and killer here in the second one, I think that's irrelevant. I don't think it's going to happen. It's really cool to think about what that would look like. I think we'd all be stunned and shocked and like, oh my goodness, they had the cojones to go for it. But I don't think they are going to go for it, and that's okay. I think we can still have a slasherific, bloody, gory, amazing time with Halloween Kills and set up a really emotional, thought-provoking Halloween Ends that satisfies everybody. So those are my thoughts. I got Allison, I got Laurie Strode, and I got Michael Myers for Halloween Ends. Everybody else on the list, So what do you think about the fates of these characters? Who's making it out alive? Who's gonna die in Halloween Kills? Be sure to comment down below and be sure to subscribe if you love Halloween and you enjoyed this video. But other than that, I thank you for stopping by and checking out the video. I hope you have a fantastic day. I'm Nate from natemareflix, and that's a wrap.